My name is Aneeqa Wattoo, and I'm a teaching fellow at LUMS. I'm delighted to announce that the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at the Mushtaq Gurmani School of Humanities and Social Sciences has launched a new MPhil program, which is called the MPhil in Society, Culture and Politics. And I'm joined here by two of our faculty members, Dr. Umair Javed and Dr. Jaffer, to talk about this program. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to start just by asking the basics of the program. What kind of graduate program is this? How is it structured? Can you just tell us, Aman, a little bit about what a student or the prospective parents of someone who wants to pursue graduate studies at LUMS, what this program looks like?
Yeah, so as you can sense from the very title, that this is not a typical disciplinary program in the social sciences.
Yeah.
It is structured around what you can understand as some of the major debates that traverse political science, sociology, anthropology, geography, and related disciplines. Society, culture, politics, in a way, are concepts, frameworks that inform a wide range of scholarship and knowledge in the social sciences.
Yeah.
So it is, in that sense, a very interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary program. And it's also a program that is very much grounded in its location in Lahore and in Pakistan.
Yeah.
We are not just interested in looking at classical debates around society or politics. We're interested in how living in this particular moment, in this particular space, how can we approach these concepts from our own location, from our own perspective? What can we do to rethink them? How can we engage with them critically? How can we offer ways of advancing these concepts? So these are, I'm not just saying कि ये हमारे लिए सिर्फ ये concepts हमने इनको redevelop करना है, but how can we contribute to global debates, in the social sciences through engaging with these theoretical frameworks and logical.
Okay, and I think if we think of like streams within this, or something that's a word that's used a lot when we describe the program is its unique interdisciplinary approach towards the humanities and social sciences. So what does that exactly mean? What can students expect? What is really an interdisciplinary education at the graduate level? What does that look like?
Yeah, so the way it's going to look like in this particular program is that we are starting with theoretical frameworks within which I think I'm going to maybe impinge on your bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
So what that's going to look like is that we will have courses from the variety of social sciences that are available in LUMS. हमारे पास sociology, anthropology, geography, जो हैं also folks in history, folks in related disciplines within the social sciences, political science. So ये सब जो हैं, they are coming together to offer this particular program. So that allows for a certain kind of cross-fertilization, that allows for approaching debates, issues, questions from a variety of perspectives.
Yeah, absolutely.
That allows for trying to pick from a variety of tools that we have at our disposal. कि सिर्फ हम sociology के अंदर नहीं फंसे रहेंगे, but we have a variety of tools at our disposal in order to push forward debates in the social sciences.
I do want to talk more about research tools in a little bit, but before we do that, Umair, the same question, because your research, of course, is different and Aman's discipline is different. Interdisciplinary learning, say, what's unique about it or different about this program and interdisciplinary education?
So I think, as Aman has mentioned, one way of thinking about interdisciplinarity is on the grounds of the questions that we want to ask. Right? So there are big questions that surround us. Who we are, what is identity, what are the pressing issues of inequality in the world that we inhabit, in the location that we inhabit, right? How do we understand the past? How do we envision futures?
Present.
These are all big questions that have been answered from a variety of different disciplinary perspectives. Some of these have eventually evolved into more insular answers. हम ये कह रहे हैं कि there is perhaps an important way of bridging the divide in how these questions have been answered across different disciplines.
Okay.
Right? So one of the ways in which the program is unique, at least in the context that we're in, is that it allows you to answer these questions from a variety of different disciplinary perspectives, right? And that is also anchored into, and I mean, if you want, we can talk a little more about this in a bit, but it's also anchored in the very structure of the program and the design of the program itself.
Okay, and how is that?
So the program it stretches over 2 years. But the real sort of, to talk about the nuts and bolts, the main anchor of the program are 3 core courses that students will have to take.
Okay.
The first core is, which is the central core of the program, is social and political theory. Okay. So dealing with these big questions from a variety of different disciplinary debates and epistemological perspectives from within the social sciences, whether it's sociology, anthropology, political science, geography, and so on, right? But usi ke saath saath we're also interested in making sure that the kind of education that these students get is broad based. So alongside this core, the second core is approaches towards comparative humanities.
Okay.
So how can we learn to answer these questions from within the discipline of humanities itself, right? So history mein kaise baat ho rahi hai, philosophy mein kya baatein ho rahi hai. And then finally, the third main core that we have for this program are research methods. So, you've asked these big questions. How do you go about answering them? Right? How do you go about investigating them? How do you actually create knowledge or advance knowledge? As Aman said, we're interested in advancing these debates from within a particular time and space which is specific to us, right? So that you can only do when you're equipped with the adequate type of methods and tools that way. So that's the third pillar on which the program stands. And then there will be a variety of electives, 6 electives, I believe, that students will take, which will be both grounded in certain disciplines, but also deal with these big questions through a variety of different perspectives. Many of those disciplines will be more subject specific, more topic specific. So students will be able to sort of engage with things that they are more interested in or things that they develop an intellectual interest in. And then finally, obviously, there's a thesis project that runs for a semester at the end, which will be also part of the
and I'm sure that's a rigorous research-based.
It will be research-based, it will be rigorous, it allows students, in many ways, it's a culmination of the learning that the students have experienced over the last year and a half of the program.
Can I just add to something very important that Umair mentioned? One of the unique things about our program is the comparative humanities part of it, right? So what we are suggesting is to our students, social sciences it is not something that is divorced from poetry, for example, or our literature in our different languages. Those have been historically critical to how people in this part of the world have understood society, have understood politics,
and engage with society,
engaged with them, commented on transformations in this region. So we want to bring that to our study of typical social science questions and issues.
So not think of it as a split of sort of this is the humanities and this is abstract and theoretical and this is applied.
हमारी region में इस तरह से आप देखते हैं ना शायरी के अंदर जो है वो कितना political content रहा है.
Yeah, we have a very rich kind of legacy.
Right. Yeah, कि हमारी performative traditions हैं. They have had important stuff to say about society and culture and so on. So those are going to be very much.
And students can learn from both these kind of course, like approaches, right? So 3 things I think you've said. So one is social political debates, and there's comparative humanities is a big part of it. And then there's research methodologies. I was thinking a little bit about the research part of it. So at LUMS, of course, we have 3 different research centers. One is the Mehboob Haq Research Center, we have the Saida Waheed Gender Initiative, and we have the Gurmani Center for Languages and Literatures. And all of these centers are doing a lot of kind of serious critical work. When students think about this program, how can they directly benefit from collaborating? And this question is open to both of you. Collaborations with these centers, attending maybe seminars, and how can they benefit from these very unique and rich research centers that have been established for a long time now at LUMS? And how can this maybe help them with their own research?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, of course, there's a very rich, vibrant intellectual agenda for that each of these centers is pursuing. So there's plenty of opportunities to engage with the scholars, filmmakers, many others who are regularly showcasing their work, engaging with students in these centers. But even going beyond that, there's also opportunities to be part of the research projects that these centers are driving. That also individual faculty or faculty in groups are also doing. Our undergrads are already benefiting from research associate positions. तो हम तो इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स आए ताकि हम
जो एक्साइटेड हो and they want
would
to
be
work
more
with
obviously
us.
right, they're more mature, they have more experience and exposure. So LUMS में historically जो है students के लिए as research associates has been many opportunities.
Absolutely.
And also as teaching assistants. Again, currently our teaching assistants are all undergrads, mostly undergrads. So again, our graduate students will have the opportunity to assist faculty in teaching courses, undergraduate courses, and also learning the tools of the trade. So there is plenty of
space for that to happen. Okay. So the big question, I think, for most people who are thinking in this economy and when everything is so expensive about pursuing a graduate program is how it's going to translate into employment, of course, right? That is like the big question. And we have lots of students who are thinking of this program and are thinking, okay, this is a stepping stone towards a doctorate degree. And then we have many who are thinking, no, I want to first get that work experience and then maybe in a few years I do another degree. Or some are not at all interested in the academic path in the future. So I first want to ask, for those who are interested in doing a doctorate degree after this and they're seeing LUMS as a space ki acha ye kareeb hai, it's more accessible and we can get a good master's degree here. What are kind of like opportunities, or when we think of skills, even kind of transferable skills, what are some of the skills that they'll take from here that can really help them apply to doctorate programs? क्योंकि पहला तो वो बहुत students के लिए question mark होता है कि how do we research and know the right programs, and then of course sort of send out those applications, and then does it help them in that later step?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, when I was going to for my PhD program, तो पहला मेरा सवाल था कि मैं किस discipline में मुझे करना चाहिए. Before starting the PhD, one does not even, I didn't have a lot of exposure to sociology, which was where I ended up. The advantage students will have here is that they will have that kind of exposure to a variety of social sciences, right? So that will help them firstly understand कि उनका interest किस चीज में है, what they do want to. Because PhD programs के level पे तो अक्सर जो है, you have to be discipline specific. Right? So there's not many interdisciplinary PhD programs. So this program is, it offers them that opportunity to look at a variety of disciplines. Secondly, एक तो thesis is a very critical part of
preparation, even for preparing the application.
बिल्कुल. और thesis में जो है, they will be writing a proposal, they will be presenting that to their committee. So the entire process that they will have to engage with in their PhD, they will be, उसका एक आप कह लें एक छोटा सा जो एक condensed version जो है, they will go through all of that here, right?
And under supervision of course, of like senior faculty members.
बिल्कुल. And because this is going to be a small program, so there is lots of opportunity for students to work very closely with our faculty. मेरे पास, I didn't get that opportunity in my PhD program. It was a large group of students. तो उस तरह से it is again, it's quite I think rigorous in the way it will train students to experience some of that
and be somewhat prepared,
PhD world, and to be somewhat prepared.
And Umair, sorry, were you going to add something? For those who are not, who know it either now, they're undecided, because lots of students don't actually know what a PhD entails, and they're intimidated even by that, or they have a clear idea कि हमने कुछ और path करना है. There are so many different paths here. In terms of employability and actual market and going away from this degree, what skills, or at least transferable skills, do you think they can take or be confident कि अच्छा इसके बाद what is the situation looking like?
Right. I think so the answer is in some ways quite similar to what we would say that a good social science or a humanities education will provide you. In any case, except we're saying कि ये उसका भी एक elevated version जो है वो आपको. And the simplest way of thinking about it is कि that a program is not just about the content that you get, right? It's not just that you're able to say, okay, we were able to answer these questions using these theories or the content that we covered in our classes. but it's also the ability to know how to learn, right? Which you're getting from
absolutely.
this program.
It's the way you look at the world.
So I repeatedly, I think especially in an age where there is active de-skilling of the labor market happening because of artificial intelligence or the use of these chatbots and sort of shortcuts that are available. A program like this will actually help you cultivate core learning skills, right? So your ability to read, ability to write, ability to interpret, ability to analyze data, ability to explore the human condition in sort of in analytical ways, right? And so the options available are pretty much in many ways there's a vast variety of options that are available for career paths. But in more tangible terms, obviously a degree in integrated social sciences can open up career paths in government, in the non-governmental sector, in academia, obviously, in education, in other aspects, in journalism, in media, in public policy, but also there are a number of other avenues. So students have, for example, who've done social science degrees at LUMS have previously gone on to work in marketing, for example, or consumer research, or so students who may want to pursue slightly different career trajectories, they will pick up those skills that are required to excel in those positions from this master's as well. Ultimately, because it's a small master's, I think the learning experience is what's going to be the big, the centerpiece of the program. And I think when you engage with text, with theory, with experiential practice at such a close level, I think that really provides you with a lot of transferable skills that can work in other avenues as well.
Yeah. And I mean, what you said is also making me think of कि कुछ साल पहले जब हम सोच रहे थे, there was like an assumption कि you do a master's in a specific subject and then you want to become a lawyer, so you do an LLB and an LLM. And now, of course, the way industries work, we've seen that simple binary, or it just doesn't exist, right? Actually, you can do this kind of degree and you can go on to do business or entrepreneurial work or marketing, etc. So in that sense, it's open. There are like many opportunities. The last thing I want to talk about is we were kind of joking about this, about LUMS, like vibrant culture and the campus itself, which is a really big part of the student experience. And lots of people come to LUMS and they're drawn by the campus, and there's so much discussion about it. What does LUMS campus, and beyond just kind of EDH and all that we were kind of joking about, what does the LUMS campus, the libraries are kind of serious resources, what does that offer, or what's there that's unique when people are looking, like students are looking at other graduate programs in South Asia as well, there are options in Europe, all around the world. तो लाहौर में ये जो campus है, इसकी जो particularity है, उस पे are there any thoughts on like what it offers to students?
I think एक तो पहली बात ये कि for students who are interested in the region and for students who are interested in questions that are relevant to our specific context, there's no better place to be than in the context that you want to study those things, right? So जो kind of access आपको मिलता है, हमारे humanities वाले जो colleagues हैं, they will often say कि your archive is located here.
Yes,
basically these are where the and so for us the social scientists in the room would say your field is also here, right? That this is where you can actually explore these questions in tangible ways. So obviously LUMS being here and sort of and the program asking all of these important and integral questions, I think that's one really important reason why the campus becomes so important. Then obviously there are a host of other resources, right? We, the library, for example, has one of the best collections of volumes on social sciences, excellent journal
South
access,
Asia.
And South Asia. I think it's a regionally sort of competitive library in some ways, that it offers you access to resources that you would not easily find in other other libraries or in other universities in the region. Uske alawa, there's a vibrant academic culture on campus. So, there are always events happening, workshops happening. There's the annual conference that happens here. So it really provides you with an opportunity to learn, to interact, to really question and interrogate, all that you're learning in the classroom through a wider engagement with. And over the past many years, one thing that I've noticed is that even within student life, there is a very strong intellectually vibrant community that has emerged, right? The students themselves, on their own time, they're organizing, they're interested in big questions, they will take up research projects, they will take up, independent studies in various forms. And I think that, is a testament to the fact that this campus and this university provides you with an open, progressive space to ask a whole host of questions and to pursue, obviously, answers to those questions.
I should also add that one of the initiatives that Umair actually organizes in our department,
which Aman used to organize earlier, but
is the Humanities and Social Sciences seminar series, in which he invites scholars from a variety of disciplines to come to campus and to share their ongoing research projects.
Yeah, we've had some amazing people come in.
Yeah, and that's just one of the many scholarly initiatives that our department and our campus hosts. We have an annual conference that has been happening now for more than a decade. We have a regular host of other conferences on various themes and issues. Next year, we're organizing the Student Relations Studies annual conference in Asia, which I believe is the largest conference on Asia and to ever happen in Pakistan. So, our campus is a very vibrant scholarly space, which is in people from across Pakistan, from different parts of the region, as well as from very many different parts of the globe are visiting regularly, sharing their work, engaging with students. So, students will have the opportunity to engage with some of the most cutting edge scholars from across the globe. So it's in that way quite a uniquely placed place to host such a program.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think this is a great introduction to some of the course offerings and what's unique about it. And the rest, I think there's a lot that's going to be up on the website as well. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me today. We're very excited at LUMS to launch this and to have many of you over eventually and join the program.